Since yesterday of 1986, Pixar was founded, we're either going to rank the Pixar movie from bad to good. For this list, we're going to think about Pixar movies that critics will think.
Okay. So, this is Pixar movie we're talking about. Anyways, so, what do you think of Cars 2?
So is this the sequel to Cars that are we talking about?
Yes.
To be honest, this sequel is a huge deviation from the first Cars movie. The action sequences for G-rated have been toned down, and there are some bad language in it too. I don't think Pixar wasn't great at making an spy movie better from 2011. I'm sorry, but Cars 2 will be putted as one of my least favorite animated movies in 2011. Cars 2 was an box office success. Why didn't everyone told me about this?
Sorry about that, Cooper. Anyways, the second one was Cars 3, and your opinion on it?
I would say, this movie was okay, even though it was very good in Cooper Collins the Gamer and Animator 100's videos, although I got grounded for sneaking the movie without my parents' permission. I have to be more careful for next time, so, Cars 3 was an okay movie.
Alright. Next one was Cars 2006.
I would say, this movie was okay, unlike Cars 2, which was Pixar's disappointing films of 2011. Set in a world populated entirely by anthropomorphic talking cars and other vehicles, it follows a hotshot rookie race car named Lightning McQueen, Wilson, who, on the way to the biggest race of his life, gets stranded in Radiator Springs, a rundown town, and learns a thing or two about friendship, family, and the things in life that are truly worth waiting for.
What about Lightyear 2022?
Well, I could tell you that Lightyear 2 wasn't that great because of the box office lot that they have. So, I could tell you that, unlike me, the Lightyear seems to not too bad to me. So, it wasn't like Miss David, but no, I don't think it is not like David though.
Oh, okay. So, The Good Dinosaur it is.
Geez, roarsome movie. The film explores an alternate history when avian dinosaurs never became extinct, following a young, timid Apatosaurus named Erlo Ochoa, who meets an unlikely human friend named Spot Bright while traveling through a dangerous and mysterious landscape in order to return home after being washed downriver by a rainstorm. But why am I hearing someone else? The Good Dinosaur was the Pixar first box office flops.
Because according to the history, dinosaurs became extinct and it have been wiped out from Earth. Wait, why is there a giant T-Rex doing in this stage?
It would be Brave 2012 that we're going to talk.
To be mentioned, I already composed that movie, and it was very good. The film tells the story of Princess Marita of Dunbrook, MacDonald, who defies an age-old custom, causing chaos in the kingdom by expressing the desire not to be betrothed. When Queen Eleanor Thompson, her mother, falls victim to a beastly curse and turns into a bear, Marita must look within herself and find the key to saving the kingdom.
Cool. Monsters University, anyone?
Very good since I was a kid. Monsters University tells the story of the main characters of Monsters Incorporated, James P. Sullivan and Mike Wazowski, and their time at college, where they start off as bitter rivals, but slowly become best friends. During the time, they must learn to work together, along with Uzma Kappa members, in order to make their dreams reality and things right. And Kai was also an good movie and it was a huge massive success at the YouTube. Hopefully, Japan will be very happy. Hopefully it will be win at the Viand Awards.
Next is Onward, and Sarah will react it.
I believe Onward was one of my favorite Pixar movies of 2020, despite being an box office bomb. Pixar was my favorite animation company next to Walt Disney Animation Studios, and to think, I always loved the Powerpuff Girls too, my #1's favorite Cartoon Network show of all time.
What the hell was that?
Luke is next and we'll hope it will be good.
Luca is what we talking about? It's awesome, I tell you. Set on the Italian Riviera, the film centers on Luca Pagaro, Tremblay, a young sea monster boy with the ability to assume human form while on land, who explores the town of Porto Rosso with his new best friends, Alberto Scorfano, Dylan Grazer, and Julia Marcovaldo, Berman, experiencing a life-changing summer adventure.
What about A Bug's Life?
bugs everywhere, and the film involves a misfit ant, Flick, who is looking for tough warriors to save his colony from a protection racket run by a gang of grasshoppers. Unfortunately, the warriors he brings back turn out to be an inept troop of circus bugs. Looks good.
Speaking at Pixar, Incredibles 2, everyone.
Incredibles 2?
Yes.
Wow. Anyways, the story follows the Incredibles as they try to restore the public's trust in superheroes while balancing their family life, only to combat a new opponent who seeks to turn the populace against all supers. 93% at Rotten Tomatoes was awesome.
I'm glad someone else liked Pixar movies, except Jim Phelps, who doesn't like Cars 2.
I told you about this.
So, what do you think of Turning Red?
Hey. That's my favorite movie of 2022. Anyways, set in Toronto, Ontario in 2002, the film follows Malin Mei Li Cheong, a 13-year-old Chinese-Canadian student who transforms into a giant red panda when she experiences any strong emotion, due to a hereditary curse. I really love this movie so much. One of the best Pixar movies I've ever watched.
Well, that was.
Kiyozuki's giggle reminds me of my new giggle. I tell you what. Me and Kiyozuki have insane giggling sounds too when we all have fun.
At least it's not that bad right now.
My favorite Pixar movie next to Luca was Finding Dory, and sequel to Finding Nemo. The film focuses on the amnesiac fish Dory, DeGeneres, who journeys to be reunited with her parents, Keaton and Levy.
I would say WALL-E was very good at best. The overall 9-feature film produced by the studio WALL-E follows a solitary robot on a future, uninhabitable deserted Earth in 2805, left to clean up garbage. He is visited by probes sent by the starship Axiom, a robot called Eve, with whom he falls in love and pursues across the galaxy. Oh, for God's sakes, who throw the trash out? This is absolutely raging.
Hey, don't blame on me, I spit it out every day.
At least, Soul was good too. It follows a pianist, Joe Gardner Fox, who was killed in an accident before his big break as a jazz musician and seeks to reunite his separated soul and body.
Probably it would be too long, but I'll give it a go. Monsters Incorporated centers on two monsters, the hairy James P. Sullivan, Goodman, and his one-eyed partner and best friend Mike Wazowski, Crystal, who are employed at the titular energy-producing factory Monsters Incorporated, which generates power by scaring human children. However, the monster world believes that the children are toxic, and when a little human girl Boo, Gibbs, sneaks into the factory, she must be returned home before it is too late. Perfect film.
Well, if that's okay with you, the title refers to the French dish ratatouille, which is served at the end of the film, and also references a species of the main character, a mouse. Set in Paris, the plot follows a rat who dreams of becoming a chef and tries to achieve his goal by forming an unlikely alliance with the restaurant's garbage boy. 100% true.
Well, The Incredibles was awesome. Set in a retro-futuristic version of the 1960s, the film follows Bob and Helen Parr, a couple of superheroes, known as Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl, who hide their powers in accordance with a government mandate, and attempt to live a quiet suburban life with their 3 children. However, Bob's desire to help people draws the entire family into a confrontation with a vengeful fan-turned-foe.
This is like Coco, Day of the Dead, prayer and remembrance of friends and family members who have died. The story follows a 12-year-old boy named Miguel Gonzalez, who is accidentally transported to the land of the dead, where he seeks the help of his deceased musician great-great-grandfather to return him to his family among the living and to reverse his family's ban on music.
Coco was amazing, and so it's Toy Story 4. Set after the third film, Toy Story 4 follows Woody, Hanks, and Buzz Lightyear, Alan, as the pair and the other toys go on a road trip with Bonnie McGraw, who creates Forky, Hale, a spork made with recycled materials from her school. Meanwhile, Woody is reunited with Bo Peep, Potts, and must decide where his loyalties lie.
I'm very glad Up got won 2 Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Score. The film centers on Carl Fredricksen, Asner, an elderly widower who travels to South America with wilderness explorer Russell, now Guy, in order to fulfill a promise that Carl made to his late wife Ellie. Along the way, they meet a talking dog named Doug Peterson, and encounter a giant bird named Kevin, who is being hunted by the explorer Charles Muntz, plumber, whom Carl had idolized in childhood. Quite emotional.
Me, Jill, and Susie Andrews remembers Toy Story 3 as one of my favorite movies. In Toy Story 3, Andy Davis, Morris, now 17 years old, is going to college. Woody, Hanks, Buzz Lightyear, Alan, and the other toys are accidentally donated to Sunnyside Daycare, a daycare center, by Andy's mother, Metcalf, and the toys must decide where their loyalties lie. Well, my favorite Pixar movie was Inside Out. The film follows the inner workings inside the mind of a young girl named Riley, who adapts to her family's relocation, as 5 personified emotions administer her thoughts and actions. So, Inside Out was one of the best animated movies of 2015 I've ever watched. Now, behold, this is one of my favorite Pixar movie about underwater, Finding Nemo. It tells the story of an overprotective clownfish named Marlin Brooks, who, along with a regal blue tang named Dory DeGeneres, searches for his missing son Nemo, Gould. Along the way, Marlin learns to take risks and comes to terms with Nemo taking care of himself. Now this is how Toy Story began, Pixar's first film back in 1995. Taking place in a world where toys come to life when humans are not present, the plot of Toy Story focuses on the relationship between an old-fashioned pull-string cowboy doll named Woody and a modern space cadet action figure, Buzz Lightyear, as Woody develops jealousy towards Buzz when he becomes their owner and his favorite toy.
Okay. Now, so, Sarah Radcliffe, what is your most favorite Pixar movie of all time?
Well, my favorite Pixar movie of all time was Toy Story 2. In the film, Woody is stolen by a toy collector, prompting Buzz Lightyear and his friends to rescue him, but Woody is then tempted by the idea of immortality in a museum. I have to say, I'll give Toy Story as one of my favorite Pixar movie of all time.
Awesome. Alright, everyone, I think that wraps up for today, and I'll see you guys the week after next week. That goes for you, Sarah Radcliffe.
Okay.